Welcome to another edition of the Wonderberry Podcast.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Dave.
And you can find us online at wonderberry.com.
You can find me online at Open Darkwing.
You can find me at briankeesbury.com.
.com.
Posting 5 days a week now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing better than I am at this whole content thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I'll ramp up after the new year. Speaking of, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
We're getting down to mid-December already, somehow.
Yeah.
Not quite sure how that happened, but here we are.
Woo.
Yeah, right? Life, my friend, it moves fast.
That it does. That it does. How's it do that?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know nothing about nothing.
It just does. It absolutely just does. But hey, could be worse.
Could be.
Not quite sure how it could be worse, but it could be worse.
Well, yeah. You know.
Oh, man. Yeah, you got the holiday. Everything's about ready to go absolute batshit crazy with holiday parties and everything else that goes on with families and extended families, and yeah, about to get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And it still isn't cold enough to snow or anything yet. I don't know how that happened. That I think I'm getting more frustrated about. I'm like, man, it's hard to get in the Christmas spirit when it's still in the 40s during the day.
Yeah. Like, what? I don't get it.
Neither do I. We haven't had a real snow this year at all. Like, we've had flurries and it's dumped a little bit of snow here and there, but we haven't had like an actual snow yet.
Yeah. Well, we had a snow on Halloween.
Like a full on, it's stuck and everything's buried in snow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Because we didn't.
Yeah.
We had nothing. And it's getting a bit weird having nothing. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just, it feels very strange to think that we're halfway through December. We're a couple weeks away from the new year. And my weather forecast is definitely not what you would think it should be. I mean, it's supposed to get a high of 48 today. That's insane.
Yeah.
Even my 10-day forecast, the coldest high temp that it's going to be is next week at 35. We're going to hit mid-50s tomorrow. What the hell is wrong with this place? I don't understand why and how it's so warm. That's the crux of it.
Yep. I don't know.
It's just, it feels wrong.
Feels wrong. Like, how are we supposed to Christmas when it's...
I do have a tree up, though.
Nice.
Yep. I managed to pull that one off.
Yeah.
Don't know how, but I managed to pull that one off.
Yeah, I got mine on. No decorations on it, just lights though.
I have full decoration. Like everything for the tree. I don't do a whole lot of outside the tree decoration, but at least have that. It's just weird.
Yeah,
It feels off.
that it does.
I don't know what to do. However, I did sit and think about content-wise, kind of what I want to do on my channel gaming-wise. I think I'm going to go back-ish to Minecraft. I'm going to primarily focus on building storyline-driven modded content, using the modding juggernaut that is Feed the Beast and their different stuff. But I'm also going to go like full on family friendly, I think.
Yeah.
And just kind of be like dad who plays Minecraft type of a persona idea. I'm not going to say there's a niche that's missing in that, but there's definitely not as much of that as people might like.
Yeah.
You know, there's still a place for parents that want to be able to throw on something for their kid that isn't just yelling and screaming.
Yeah. Something
So I think I'm going to go with the
where
dad
the
plays.
microphone isn't constantly clipped out all the time.
Yeah. So I think I'm just going to go with the calm, because I think I have a fairly calming voice. It's not horribly annoying. It's not overly raspy.
Yeah.
But yet it's also not completely devoid of emotion. So it's not like I'm going to be. It doesn't come across as NPR announcing the next jazz track. I'm somewhere in between those.
And up next, we have Open Darkwing punching a tree.
So
And
I was looking at. So Feed the Beast does some pretty cool stuff. They have some really good mod packs that they have. Obviously, some very popular ones. They are kind of the originators of, or a big originator of, the Direwolf packs, Stone Block, Ocean Block. They have their Skies stuff that they've done for years and years and years. But there was one that I was looking at called Legend of the Eyes. And it's an adventure exploration questing stuff. So there's 12 eyes scattered around the world. When brought together, they create a portal of unspeakable danger and adventure. So you go around and you collect 12 of the 16 possible eyes to order a portal into the end dimension. And there's the Ender Dragon, which is apparently like a crazy ultimate Ender Dragon. But to get the eyes, you have to go explore new biomes, create complex machines, advanced weapons and armor. There's a whole bunch of ruins that's been added in, and you go through all of this to do to complete it. And so there's like little quest things of how to get different eyes, and it looks like it's going to be really kind of cool. So I'm really looking forward to. I'm kind of looking forward to taking on the idea of doing a different take in having a storyline in with this. There's a mod called Replay Mod where it kind of captures the loaded chunks around you and it records all this data and information. And then you can go back through and replay it and set up camera shots as if you're in spectator mode watching yourself and what you did. So you can create some really cool place after the fact, placing cameras, making moves with cameras to get in, look at the action. So it gives me that itch of really making it insanely cinematic, while at the same time being able to build an adventure story with the goal already of what you're trying to accomplish already there. So it takes away me having to come up with a full story, and it lets me kind of hybridize different things around. And so I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool.
So it's going to be more than just like a let's play.
Yeah.
I think I'm also, as part of that, because as much as I've been enjoying playing vanilla again, because I've kind of gotten back into Minecraft playing vanilla, I think I personally prefer modded more.
Yeah.
And
even your vanilla's more modded.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Even my vanilla I've added some mods. Not like some OP crazy mods, but I've added some mods. I was either gonna go and do a modern, like mod highlights of going through and explaining different mods, or I was gonna go step back into 100% full vanilla, but do it through Bedrock. But there's a lot of people doing that already, and there's not a lot of people doing the modded thing since all the updates from 1.12. So right around the time that 1.15, 1.16 was released, Mojang changed up some of the way that it established code base.
Yeah.
And it made the way you build the mods much more uniform from release to release to release, which is why for years all mods were at 1.12, and then suddenly from 1.16 forward, all of the mods have just been following this quick progression of when a new release comes out, the mods are able to get updated pretty quickly. And so there's this massive disconnect where, because, during 1.12, 13, 14, 15, during that whole time block was a lot longer time block of the game not being updated as often. Now we're getting pretty much a major release every year, or major update every year. But back then it wasn't. So all these mods were designed for 1.12, and there's still a whole ton of 1.12 mods out there, but most of the mod pack spotlight or how to use these mod packs were all done in 1.12, and people haven't gone back and revisited it for more modern Minecraft. Even if the mods are still the same, they're still not, 90% of what you're going to find is going to be for that mod as it was in 1.12, not as it is in 1.20 or 1.16 or whatever. They're 1.19. I think most mods are at 1.19 or 1.20 right now. Because with 1.21 still, 4 months away, 5 months away, I think it's usually a summer release for new mod or new version, I believe. I think that's the way that works. Anyway.
I'm behind on Minecraft news.
Yeah, I was way behind as well. And I've recently gotten back into it. Mid 2024. Okay, so yeah, it does release out in mid now. Because 1.20 released in June. 119 released June. 118 released in November of 21. But that was a part 2 because 119 and 118 and 117 was the Caves and Cliffs part 1 and part 2. So yeah. Anyway, it looks like they're trying to run through summer releases. So they make the announcement sometime in the fall and they release it the following summer. So you get Minecraft Live in like November or whatever, and then the game gets released out. But rewinding a little bit, doing a modded stuff that's more toward kids or tweens from a dad perspective, I think there's a currently unfulfilled niche in that area that because you have plenty of family friendly type stuff, but they're usually a lot younger, or you have the absolute crazy. And I think I can fill kind of that in between area pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do it right and I go through these modded, I can make things more cinematic. I can have a playthrough eventually, or I could do something like this where it's one mix playthrough, one mix kind of a cinematic in certain areas. I can play around with certain things. I can freeze frame and do internal thought process monologues. There's just a lot of really cool stuff that I've been kind of excited about wanting to try utilizing Minecraft as kind of the basis and the world of doing the filmmaking side. And it's not going to be just for kids. I mean, just because it's family friendly doesn't mean it's going to be just for kids. It just means that I'm going to do my best to not use inappropriate language, not get too risque, no matter how my mind actually is or actually works. But, I think that would be a really good place for that type of content. I'm still going to be doing a lot of my other stuff. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I might create a whole new channel for that. I've been thinking quite a bit about that so that channel is 100% family friendly. I already use Open Dark Craft, and so that I'll be Open Dark Wing in Open Dark Craft and have all of my Minecraft stuff in one place. That was one of the weird after effects of picking the name Open Dark Wing. Is Open Dark is such a unique moniker in itself that you can just remove wing and add anything else in there and it works.
Yeah. That's kind of how it worked with Rad Business Solutions too, is I can
yeah.
I can just pull anything out and put anything in, and everything can be rad,
Yep. Well, it's, the business side of this whole thing that I've created is Open Dark Media.
Mm-hmm.
I have Open Dark Wing, Open Dark Craft. I haven't done anything with it, but eventually I'll end up opening up a storefront at Open Dark Shop. I mean, there's just so much you can do with that moniker that it's worked out perfectly for me. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do it from a new channel. I know that I'm giving up a few hundred, whatever, but I don't want. There's so much that I don't want to have to go through and purge the Open Darkwing channel. And I want to have a place where I can have more of myself and do adult content oriented streams or all the randomized stuff that I do. But I want to have a place that I can just have have for this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, if I was, I think that even, smaller or bigger, I think it works having a separated channel for it.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about anything. Other parents don't have to worry about content bleeding over unless they go look up me and find me elsewhere. But, that's fine. I'm giving content that is for this. I am not changing who I am. I am just giving a certain level of content on a certain channel for certain things. And I think that's totally acceptable, and I think that it will work eventually.
Whereas my content's all just trash. Very, I want to say PG, but it's more like R rated at this point.
And that's fine. Like a lot of my content that I've had up there for years, my VODs, I'm not exactly the most PG person out there at all in any way, shape, or form, and will never, ever be. But I think I can create some PG content.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where it can kind of all come down and around, is I can create PG content.
Yeah.
At least I think I can.
Hope you can. It'll be good, right?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it'll be all right. I think everything will be good eventually. But for now, I am just starting to put together an idea of how I want to do this.
Yeah.
And it may completely fall flat on its face, and it may not go anywhere. And if that's the case, then I back away and I kind of re-go, and I just kind of, go a different direction for a bit.
Yep.
And then I back away and shift gears and go a different direction again until I find the right direction. I mean, I've been doing that a few times over and over, and I tried just strictly live streaming for a while, and while I enjoyed it, I didn't always enjoy it because I couldn't do it on my own time. I had to pick a time and then just hyper focus on that time, and I wasn't really happy with that. I was, yeah, I wasn't always the happiest with having to give up weekends no matter what to keep on going and all this stuff. And so I kind of backed away from that. I was doing some videos, but I was doing mostly flight sim stuff. But you can there's it's very difficult to tell a consistent story of flying between point A and point B where the mid of all of that is mostly autopilot.
Yeah. I'd watched a handful of them, and it's like...
And I think I did a good job of cutting out a lot of the middle and going cinematic for the middle. But if you're not into flight sim, I mean, because the important parts is checklist going up, checklist coming down, takeoff and landing, and following procedures and all that stuff. Like, it's, if you enjoy the flying side, I think I cut it in a very good way. But it's very difficult to make that unique for consistent uploads without turning yourself into a flight simulator news channel.
Yeah, especially for me where that's not my, like, I'm not into flight simulators, so it wasn't interesting to me to watch that, you know?
Yeah.
So it was neat. I watched a couple of them because it was neat for me to support you and to see what you were up to and what you were doing with it, but it was like, okay.
Unless you're into flying, it really isn't.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about Minecraft, and especially if you're playing a pack that has a built-in story mode, so you have an end goal already built in with questing books of how to get there, and then that's when it becomes more fun. That's when it becomes
Yeah.
more, okay, I don't have to come up with a story. We have a story. Now I just get to play a character in that story of how we're going to get there. What all do we have to do? What do we have to get ready for? And all of that side of it. So I think this will be a really good, and I think this will be a really good mod pack to figure that out, because it's such an adventure map to begin with. It's not like a kitchen sink where you're just, okay, I'm here now. Those are fun, and doing giant builds is fun. But this, I think, would be interesting, of having a story that goes through that you kind of, all right, what am I figuring out here?
Yeah.
And it looks like there's a couple of, the FTB has a couple, FTB being Feed the Beast has a couple of maps like that.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how it goes. It's the first one for a long time, but they have this one. It's an Arcanium Institute. So it looks like it's a lot more adventure, combat, questing, and it looks like there's a lot more magic mods that are in this one too. So it looks like you'll end up doing a whole lot more wizardy type things. Yeah, 6 codexes stand between you and graduation from the Arcanium Institute. So Botania, Blood Magic, Occultism, Ars Novu, Malleum, Evil Craft, and Celestial Coliseum is the very end. So there's a that one was released 5 months ago. When was Eyes released? A year ago. Updated 6 months ago. Maybe I won't start with Eyes. Maybe I will. I don't know yet. But at Arcanium looks interesting.
Yeah.
And that's magic mods. I haven't really done much with magic mods, so I would be learning quite a bit too. I've done some stuff with Botany. I've done some stuff with occultism and Ars Novu and all that, but I just think that bringing these spotlights back to modded Minecraft again is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
There's most modded Minecraft right now are all just strict playthroughs, highlighting different mod packs that way instead of individual mods or these adventure stories. And I think taking the traditional Let's Play and turning that a little upside down and doing a story-driven kind of a, I don't know, almost like a show or a movie that way, I think would be kind of fun. It's going to be more work for me.
That's what I've been finding. It's like doing 5 days a week of content has been a lot of work, but I've been getting through it. So it's a lot of work though.
Yep. It definitely is.
Yeah. That's
But
okay.
I think it'll work.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the direction I want to go. I don't want to dedicate myself to I'm doing this on this day of the week, this on this day of the week just yet.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want to shoehorn myself in and feel completely stressed that I have to do certain things. Plus, I've got a lot of other stuff that I'm going to be working on this next year too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited about giving this a shot and trying it and seeing what happens. I'm excited that I've kind of come to the idea of what I want to do for content wise, kind of a targeted audience wise. Because not even adults who enjoy that kind of stuff don't always want the in your face. You don't have to be edgy in order to do these types of things, and I think that sometimes people get that way.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to be. You just gotta
So if
do
I
what you
lean
feel like
into
doing.
if I just kind of lean into I'm a dad, make something that kids or other people that enjoy watching a dad playing Minecraft, but not just playing Minecraft, but kind of leaning into the storytelling side, and then do these spotlights of,
Yeah.
hey, this is what this mod is all about. This is how you use this mod. This is the things that you do. This is how you put all these pieces together. And giving those instructional
Why?
tutorials for mods that haven't had content about them since, almost 10 versions of Minecraft ago. I mean, we're at 120, so, a lot of these are 112. So that's 8 versions of Minecraft
Yeah.
ago. That's a long time.
Yeah. Somebody's got to get the update in. My stuff feels kind of edgy right now, but I'm coming from a place of hurt and
Yeah.
just getting my feelings out and, trying to calm my emotions. So that's where that is. It just looks edgy, but that's where it comes from. So
Yeah, 6 years ago was when 112 was released.
dang.
Been a minute.
Yeah.
And a lot of those videos are from that time. So, and some of this stuff translates over, not all of it, but you just kind of got to figure out then, okay, this isn't translating over properly. How do I make it translate? And so, I don't know. Well, we'll see how it goes. It might work. It might completely fail. I don't know.
Well, that's okay. You just got to work on your plan and get your plan together and implement it, Dave. We talked about that.
Yep. And
So,
good enough is good for release. It doesn't have to be freaking perfect.
yeah, that's what I'm working on. Getting my stuff good enough. And I'm going back through all of my old stuff and getting it into good enough because I used to try to get it perfect, which is why it's all sitting in notebooks right now.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting it into shape so that it's good enough. I'm writing all sorts of new stuff, and that stuff's coming out perfect because I know perfect is just good enough.
There is no such thing as perfect. And if you do it perfect now, then you can't get better in the future.
I know
And if you
that's why
can't
I'm
get
perfect,
and
because
if you
I'm good
can't get
enough.
and if you can't get better in the future, then you're not going to be able to improve.
Yeah. I get better every day, Dave, because I know I'm good enough. That's why I'm perfect.
There you go. I think that's the way that works.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think we need
Yep.
to end it on that, don't we?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that was the sagest advice I think I've ever said in my life.
I think we still have 1 or 2 more episodes before Christmas.
Yep.
At least one more before Christmas, because the next one we do will release on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So next week we'll record a very special Christmas edition. But be safe out there, people.
Be safe.
Improve yourself one day at a time. Just pick one thing.
Be good enough.
Make you are good enough. Just take another step forward every day.
Yep.